What up, space nerds? Welcome. It's been a busy January for Star Citizen, but we're still going. We've been talking about crafting and stuff lately, but 4.6 is still happening. It's going to be live next week, and we've got our first Inside Star Citizen. Much like most years, it's coming here early in January. Unlike most years, though, it's going to be a little more significant. Let's check it out together and listen to what they have to say about the content coming this year, what's coming in 4.6, and kind of decipher where we might be going with Inside Star Citizen from here, because there's a lot that could happen with this show. This is our main source of getting information throughout the year, and last year was kind of rough. Let's see what they decide to do with this year. Thanks for joining me for this.
Each year of Star Citizen brings with it a new beginning, including new content, new opportunities, and oftentimes a few new ways of doing things. It's an essential element of Star Citizen's DNA, where we don't just build the game out in front of everyone, we continue to review, refine, and redirect our efforts, as well as the very manner in which we make our games along the way. In 2025, this saw the biggest change to our development strategy yet, where new content rose to the forefront while feature work was allowed the time necessary to cook behind the scenes. Where dedicated strike teams were formed to deal with the biggest
How y'all feel about that with engineering? You feel like I got the time necessary?
issues at hand, and the patch cadence changed from once every quarter to once every month. It was an exciting year, and now into 2026, we continue our yearly evolution as we head into the upcoming Alpha 4.6. Now, instead of a patch every month or every quarter, this year we'll introduce a new bi-monthly patch cadence, which is one every 2 months for those of you who appreciate homonyms. No?
I thought he meant 2 patches every month. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so this is the first time we're hearing about it. Like I said, important information comes from this show, which is why it's nice when they do it a little more often.
That means that you're going to see big releases like 4.6, 4.7, 4.8 and the like in January, March, and May.
Okay.
And so forth and so forth and so forth.
Okay. So now I'm guessing that means crafting in 4.7 in March. That might be a little premature to say, but that's what it feels like just from
Between those patches, we're going to try a new initiative that'll still deliver smaller chunks of in-game content to keep things interesting, like the recent pricing surge on commodities from last week. And in the future, new mission contracts, new loot, and even new spaceships, and all without the need for a big, mega, full patch release.
It's the same thing then. This is the same thing we were doing back in, it's a little, so it's like a hybrid of what we've been doing and what we're doing last year. Before, we would still get point patches. You'd get 3.16, then you get 3.16.1. You'd get 3.12, 3.12.1. Those point ones tended to be hot fixes and little bug fixes and this and that. Now they're just going to be small additions, little pieces of content, a couple new missions, and these price things that he's talking about, these momentary changes to the game. But it sounds like it's mostly business as usual. Keep the cadence up. Every 2 months is faster than every quarter, but it's still enough time for them to stabilize. They're just, they're just like, they're meandering into the right spot of how they need to do their deliveries.
It's an exciting experiment, and one that we're eager to undertake as we continue our journey to 1.0 with a year of patches aiming to deliver more feature improvements like inventory rework.
Oh my God. Jared, you don't start listing off features, man. I end up having to come back and clip these, dude.
Crafting, which, if everything works out, should be in tech preview soon or by the time this airs. Instancing, Genesis planets, and more, alongside the content that we showed at CitizenCon Direct, like Rock Cracker, Tactical Strike Groups, and Municipal Works. So, with all that...
He kept it safe this time. He didn't say hacking or quantum travel or Star Sim or any of those things. That was a safe bet of features he named.
That said, let's go ahead now and take a look at some of what Alpha 4.6 has in store for us. And not just with its intended release next week, but throughout this February and into March.
Okay. Ew, dude. Looks like my old fort under the couch cushions.
Up first, the local inhabitants of Levski are falling sick with a mysterious ailment called the People's Ailment, seemingly caused by the new strain of mold growing in the faulty air filters.
Bro, that is so far beyond mold. How did it get this bad, guys? These are life forms, okay? This is a colony.
ailment,
Mold?
seemingly caused by the new strain of mold growing in the faulty air filters of Geisen Incorporated.
We are quickly
include
moving towards
coughing,
proto-molecule phase at that rate. Come on now.
chest pain,
Freaking mold.
and fatigue. This mold is super resistant and forcing the free and independent people of Levski to reach out to the UEE for help. Now, it's up to contractors like you to race against the clock and save as many folks from fungal fatalities as possible. And, of course, pick up some rewards along the way, like this cool new medical themed armor set.
Yeah, I don't know about this. So this medical themed armor, I saw briefly, and the traps are so weird, dude. Like, why is it so trap heavy? I don't get that. It looks much better in motion in these videos, but I don't know, man. It's interestingly shaped. I'm glad that we're seeing armor that's not just combat focused. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of specialties they come up with for these due to the Starware system. But you know, I'm more interested in kind of where this mold came from. Yeah, the UEE is coming to help and clear it out, but what if the UEE also had a hand in planting it, trying to get these people out of here so they can have Nyx all to themselves with that terraforming?
These as possible. And, of course, pick up some reward. Ship paints.
Ooh.
And more.
Hey, who's flying around that Apollo, huh?
And in
What you
feature
doing?
work, the first iterations of cockpit light amplification are also rolling out for select spacecraft.
I've heard, okay, I love the light amplification. I think this is doing a great job. There are obviously plenty of critiques and criticisms and opinions about this going forward. The one that I think does stick is that every manufacturer has its own color based on, well, the manufacturer. This could be a problem, you know, for colorblind people in certain colors, this could be an issue. I hope that they all have their defaults, but maybe there is a colorblind option or at least a standardized option that you can switch it to if you want to, because while it's nice to have the colors, I think mainly the focus should be on the HUDs. We know that every manufacturer is going to have a different HUD. That won't be as jarring of a change for people.
It's an exciting step forward in addressing one of the oldest struggles pilots have when flying or driving around the dark side of our planets and moons. And like most new features in Star Citizen, this will continue to evolve, improve, and expand to additional vehicles in subsequent patches.
Yeah, you can see right there, it works really well. That,
Improve
I think,
and expand
is
to
one of
additional-
the, this is one of the biggest indicators of just how well it can work when you're on the ground or near the ground. As far as getting close to flying into the ground when I'm at nighttime sides of planets, if you watch me play, y'all know that I have problems with that. And this actually solves
vehicles in subsequent patches. And look at all the different colors. And speaking of the oldest struggles, the Aurora, classic ship from RSI, heart of our original crowdfunding campaign, and most owned vehicle in the verse, is finally getting its gold standard pass in Alpha 4.6.
Freaking finally.
Bringing it to feature and function parity with today's latest and greatest for those pilots who enjoy flying a true Star Citizen classic.
This should have happened a lot earlier, but it's good that it's happening now.
And alongside this, we're finally delivering many of those outstanding campaign paints to go with it, like the Pirate paint, the Operation Pitchfork paint,
Ooh, nice.
the South by Southwest 2015 paint, the
Wow.
Electro Hull paints, and more.
Where's
For
that
4.6,
Star Kitten?
these will be delivered exclusively to those OG backers who earned them by supporting the original campaign. But
The South
may
by
become
Southwest
available in
skin is
limited
pretty cool.
supply later this year if there's enough interest. I suspect you can let us know on Spectrum, Reddit, and social.
Jared, you know, people are get very unhappy when their exclusive paints that they got from being there at a specific time get handed out to everyone else. We'll see what the reaction is to that.
And in additional content stuffs, those cool holographic skull helmets we came up with so long ago are finally being
Like
delivered
8
to our
years ago.
development subscribers.
Nice. They're actually, say what you will, they're delivering on a lot of old stuff lately.
I'm excited because I've been wanting to recreate that, that Skeletor meme on social with it since we first unveiled it. There should be memes here, unless we couldn't think of any.
No memes. Oh,
There's
that's supposed to be
also offerings
Skeleton.
from everyone's
God.
favorite band who, look. It's the only Banu you know, technically, who has these nifty new armor and weapon variants available as well.
Bruh. Okay. I've been one to not rise to the bait of people calling them Call of Duty skins coming into Star Citizen, but this does look I won't say just Call of Duty, honestly. This is the kind of skin that I did see in Halo as well, when Halo started to look more like Call of Duty, Halo 5-ish time. Yeah, I don't know. I think they should be focusing mainly on like colorways and less on these sort of effects, but I'm not one to say don't have more armor variants in the game. I'm glad that they're including more. Just seems like they're, yeah, I don't know. It's all opinions, right?
And the debut of the upcoming RSI Hermes, which you'll see fully and learn more about next week.
Okay. Just tell us the ship. New ship incoming
But
for
as we
4.6.
said at the top of the show, 4.6 doesn't stop when it releases next week. That's because about 2 weeks after that, we'll see the unlocking of new faction-based introductory and advanced mining and salvage missions to better guide new players through the two popular professions, as well as provide additional opportunities to existing players.
These are super important, not just because, you know, some players need to have their hands held, but this is the tutorial of the game. Getting to go do missions for factions, they're the ones who are going to send you to a location and teach you that that location spawns that kind of good and you need to go there to get it. You don't learn that to do it yourself in the sandbox unless you go and like watch a YouTube tutorial or look up something online. Them putting in these like early version missions of all the professions is actually really, really key to the new player experience, to getting onboarded, to the learning curve of this game. So I'm glad we finally got them in mining and that they're expanding them in salvage.
There's our annual Coremore event that encourages folks to spend their lives in the verse with someone special.
Sorry, did that just say lover on the crotch?
There's our annual Coremore event that encourages...
It definitely says lover on the crotch. Or is that like the stomach? It might just be the stomach.
folks to spend their lives in the verse with someone special, and it arrives with a host.
Okay, yeah. It's, you know, I mean, it depends on how long your crotch is. Interesting armors. I got nothing to say about it. It's Valentine's Day themed.
Of goodies to acquire. Red Festival returns with its super cool red and gold paints.
Ooh, yeah, the Atlas looks
as well
good
as
in the
new
Red Festival.
decal or not variants for those who prefer a cleaner look to your spacecraft paints.
Decal or not variants is nice. Can't wait to try and get these in the game somehow. It'd be nice. They're going to have these for sale in the store. It'd be nice if they said you collect enough envelopes and you also get your pick of one or something.
Another limited time change to vendors like the recent pricing surge, but this time discounting vehicles sold through in-game shops.
Oh?
Who's that spaceship mine?
And
Oh, that's a mole. Who's that spaceship man? I did one of these on Space Tomato 2, I think last year. I don't remember what it was for. Oh, but I hope I can. That's a great template to have. I would love this without the silhouette there.
sold through in-game shops.
Who's that spaceship mine?
And finally, another new ship with a familiar silhouette makes its debut weeks later in the 4.6 era. So what's
Okay.
it called and what's it do? Well,
That's definitely the Argo Salvager.
I'm not going to tell you, because I'm not sure we're getting away with that whole, what's that spaceship mode thing.
I don't know about using the mole, though. The mole is not the best constructed ship for its size, I think. I would have liked for them to see a new chassis, but also it makes sense to make a variant. Like, and we need a mid-sized salvage ship. So I'm down for it just for the sake of, like, the game needs it. But we shouldn't continue to take body shots just because we need them, right? Yeah, I think the new ship stuff is cool. I think it's interesting that they're doing this dynamic pricing based off of ship prices, because I do wonder how many people actually care about the Hurston ship shops getting lower prices after Resource Rush. Everyone said that was one of the reasons they did the Hurston team, but I have not heard a single mention of that since it happened, and now they're lowering prices in other ship shops for certain events. We'll see how that goes.
Because I'm not sure we're getting away with that whole, what's that spaceship mode thing. So come back in a few weeks to find out. Ultimately, 4.6 is the start of a new season of Star Citizen content that will continue to expand the story and gameplay of Nyx, the features and capabilities of the universe itself, and the continuing development of the project as a whole. And as far as shows like this are concerned, well, I'm happy to report that we're going back to weekly from now on.
Dude, we love it. And not because it lets us make our own content, but because this is how we learn things. Look at the important info we got at the beginning of this show, man. Sometimes this stuff still reaches us, but it could be like through Spectrum post, it could be through some message on somebody's stream or a Discord or something. It's nice to have these central places of weekly video drops for information. As much as I love monthly reports, these still do a lot to indicate what's going on in terms of development. Now, can we just get sprint reports back? Probably not.
So whether that's ISC, SEL, BTS, or whatever a particular episode is called, we'll be back with something to share each and every week that we can. I've missed you. And one of you sent me a giant wooden hammer, which kind of feels like a threat.
Dang.
But I'm gonna try my best. See you next week.
All right, nice to hear that we're getting back to content. I'm sure, I know plenty of people are like, why is this called 4.6? I don't think that's really all that important. The important bit here is that they're going to do a patch every 2 months, a major patch. They're going to do midterm updates that don't require a big patch in between those. So that means we're probably going to see a major feature every couple months. Crafting in 4.7 in March. Maybe we'll see something like the... what would it be called? The command module and ship modularity in May, perhaps? I don't know. We've got other things that we need to see as well in terms of content like Rock Cracker and stuff. So I think this is going to be a busy year. Busier than years before last year. I think this is going to feel a lot like last year, but different because of the features that we need to have. The preview channel is going to be used, and the content is a little bit more laid out in front of us. We know what's coming. But they look like they're in a really good spot. Like I said, this is 4.6 in January. Could have been 4.5.1, doesn't really matter. It's a big update for January. And I think it shows that they're kind of on their feet. You know, they're not on their back foot. They're actually hitting off with some good moves here. And I'm excited to see what comes next. I'm going to be covering 4.6 and what's coming in it for you next week, as well as the crafting stuff on the main channel in the next couple days. Keep an eye out. Thank you so much for sticking with us here in Space Tomato Gaming for the news. Keep being a space nerd, and I'll see you in the next one.